nul de ma vie.
Which interests me when I discovered the play, because it was a play first I saw in theater in Paris, was the fact it was about storytelling, about how do you write a story, how do you decide to go in that direction, in that kind of genre, what do you do with a character, how do you end your movie, all these kind of questions I'm used to ask to myself when I'm doing a film. And what I liked was the fact it was not too intellectual or too theoretical. It was very playful, with very funny characters and with strong relationships between the characters. So I decided to keep the rights of the play and to do my own adaptation.
Claude Garcia.
Tiens, c'est un petit blond timide, c'est ça?
Ce garçon a un don pour écrire.
Pourquoi vous m'aidez comme ça?
Parce que je suis ton professeur.
When you do an adaptation, especially for the cinema, you have to admit it will be a betrayal. So you take what you liked during the play. So it was quite easy because the author of the play, the Spanish author, said to me, I trust you, I respect your work, so do what you want. I let you totally free. So I was very happy like that. I had the opportunity to do my own film with this material and to do it mine. So it was important. And I decided to keep things, to cut some others, and that's true that the theatrical language and the cinematic language are totally different. Sometimes with just one shot you can explain 2 pages of dialogue, so you have to go to the fact quicker, you know, and so it's another work, but it's very funny to do.
48 heures de la vie d'un mec de 16 ans. C'est comment la maison d'une famille normale?
Hey, hey! Pizza? 4 fromages chicken wing? 4 fromages chicken wing?
The fact my parents were teachers helped me to describe the environment of Germain and to describe this everyday life of a teacher, you know, especially in the case of Germain, who is a very depressed teacher at the beginning, you know, he has lost his passion to teach. So I had in mind my parents when I was young, you know, when sometimes they were totally depressed, because it's a very difficult job, you know, and you need a real passion, you need a strength to be in front of all these students. So it was very helpful, yes.
On parle d'un autre garçon de la classe et de sa famille. On pourrait le prendre mal.
Je l'ai pas écrite pour le directeur, je l'ai écrite pour vous.
Une odeur retint mon attention, l'odeur si singulière des femmes de la classe moyenne.
This story changed the life of all the characters. It was a way to show that fiction is very important for their life. We need fiction to support a very ordinary life. That's the end of the film. When you see Germain and Claude on the bench watching all this story, you realize it's a kind of happy end, because the 2 characters have found each other and they need each other, but at the same time they are not adapted to reality and they prefer fiction to reality. And I feel very close to this character.
Là, il te manipule. Tu veux lui apprendre la littérature, mais c'est lui qui te donne une leçon.
Des dialogues percutants, des situations excitantes.
You know, when you speak about storytelling and the place of the spectator in a movie, of course you have to make a reference to Hitchcock, because he was the first one to theorize all this idea about the place of the spectator, the idea of suspense, how do you play with the information you give or not to the spectator. So it was obvious for me that at one moment I had to make a strong reference to Hitchcock. So I had the idea of the end, you know, to have like all this screen, like some screens of cinema, you know, and many stories. And it's the choice we have when we are a director to decide what kind of story we will tell to the audience.
Il les a regardés faire l'amour. Bon, il est bizarre, il est peut-être dangereux.
Quand j'ai lu, j'arrivais pas à le croire.
At the end of the film, you can, when you see his social background, because I don't show his social background at the beginning of the film. This young boy comes from nowhere, but at the moment I thought it was important to see from where he's coming from, because Because at this moment you realize why he's so obsessed and fascinated by the middle class family. You realize maybe he's looking for a place. Maybe he would like to be part of the family, and maybe he wants to fuck the housewife too. So it's quite dramatic, I think, at the end to show that. And it was important to show that to understand more the character. I don't think he's manipulative. I think he's quite naive and innocent. He's just trying to tell his story the best he can, following the lessons of his teacher. Maybe the teacher is more perverse than him.
Dis-moi, qu'est-ce que tu veux faire?
Est-ce que tu peux m'expliquer ce qu'on vient faire dans cette histoire?
For me, art is very important. I think without art, life is too hard to assume and to survive. So I need art like I need movies.
Tu es allé trop loin.
Vous voulez que j'abandonne?